car hobby's crazy. You can't have just one car. You get one car, then you see something else you like and say, oh, that's nice. The problem with these things is I love them all. People say, how many cars you got? I typically say more than my marital limit.
Jim Bodains estimates he owns about 24 muscle cars from the 1960s and early 70s. One of his more recent acquisitions, and one of his happiest finds, is this 1968 Plymouth GTX.
The great thing about this car is it's got all its original stuff still, right down to the mufflers, the air filter, the hoses, the belts, absolutely everything. No man's been there before. It's like everything was the way it left the factory. This is one of my best cars as far as originality is concerned, plus the thing's a Hemi.
The legendary Hemi engine was developed in 1966 by Chrysler to not just win the horsepower wars, but to deliver a knockout punch. The company wanted to use the overpowered Hemi in NASCAR racing, but to do that, the car had to be sitting on showroom floors and for sale to the public.
These engines were factory rated at 425 horsepower, which was done more for the insurance companies than anyone else. They were 425 horsepower at this RPM, but if you raise that, they're actually closer to 500 horsepower.
For Bodains, this car was an unexpected find.
A friend of mine told me about the car. I went and saw it. I got there, the thing was under a bunch of blankets, had boxes and all kinds of garage junk piled on top of it. Started looking it over and I knew right away that this thing was a diamond in the rough. Everyone before me, I guess, couldn't see through the dirt and the grime and the 35, 40 years of storage. I just started looking at stuff that usually goes missing and it was all there. Like the mufflers, the exhaust, the interior was perfect. The carpet was all original, the headliner was perfect. It was just dirty, but all that stuff was there. And when I saw all that stuff, I knew that this is a good piece.
It was all there, all right, just not necessarily in the right place.
When I first opened the hood, the short block was there, but the heads were off, the intake manifold was gone, the air cleaner, it was just a block. And I asked the fellow, I said, where's the rest of this engine? And he goes, oh, it's in the trunk. I said, why is it apart? Is it blown up? Or he said, I got it like that. All the stuff was in the trunk. I didn't touch it. And I went and checked the trunk, and sure enough, all the parts were there.
The first owner had started some modifications on the engine, but had given up. The second owner, the guy Jim bought it from, never had a chance to do anything else.
He bought the car as is, stuck it in his mother's house, stuck it in her garage, and the woman opened her car door on it every day for like 35 years. Bang, bang, bang. The house was around the corner from where I grew up. I actually delivered the Toronto Telegram newspaper to that house as a kid. So there was the car, probably, under my nose the whole time, all those years. What I look for in a car is a survivor car, a car that's been untouched, original paint, as much original stuff as possible. You can restore a car 1,000 times, it's only original once. I have cars that I've had to restore, but I did because they were neat cars, but I look mainly for survivors. No car is perfect. There is no perfect 100% completely untouched survivor out there, so you've always got to do something. There's always some little thing or an excuse, or you got to start hunting for parts with the right date codes and all that stuff. This I didn't have to do anything, it was all there.
Once Jim put the engine back together and started driving the car, he set out in search of the original owner.
Found a little typed out dealership warranty card in it with the original owner's name and an address. So I looked on the internet under that last name for that address, and there was still someone there. So I phoned the number, and this old lady answers the phone. And so I said, "Hi, I bought a car, and I think it used to be in your family." And she goes, "What car is that?" And I told her. She goes, "Oh, Stephen's car." I said, "Oh, Stephen, is that your husband?" He goes, "No, that's my son. They made that special for him, that car." I said, "Oh." I said, "Is Stephen still around?" She goes, "Yes, he lives in Texas now." So we had a good chat. We talked for a while, and before I hung up, she asked me, she goes, "I got to ask you, how much did you pay for the car?" And when I told her, she went, "Holy crap!"
Jim admits he paid $75,000 for the car, a vehicle that originally sold for a little over $3,000, even with the Hemi option. But for Jim Bodains, it's not about the money. Finding, maintaining, and driving a Survivor muscle car is close to, well, perfection.
I couldn't wait when I got it home and started cleaning on it, the day when I first hit the key and fire it up and take it for a spin. And actually thinking that the car was thanking me, saying, "Hey, thanks for getting me back on the road again. This is what I miss. This is what I've been waiting for 35 plus years."